This is the latest product from Holmes and Hadfield. It's called the Armory, and it's for storing and displaying some of your favorite pocket knives. On top of that, it's fully stocked with CRKT knives, some of the latest knives on the market, including a couple of knives that you probably haven't seen before. In this video, I'm going to be going through all the aspects of this box. So if you're interested in the Armory, if you're interested in CRKT, or you're interested in some of the things about this channel, I'll be answering some of my 75,000k subscriber questions that you've asked me online throughout this video, as well as telling you how you could win this box. So my name's Marcus O'Brien, and on this channel I like to talk about technology, EDC, and anything that can help me live a happier, balanced, more productive life. And today we're going to be getting stuck in with what I've got on my desk here. So let's start off by talking about the Armory. So this is the latest thing from Holme and Hadfield. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a display case where you can display 9 of your favorite knives. They do a bunch of different products that are available. I'm going to just move this slightly to the side here so you can see it from this camera angle. They do a bunch of different products, and if you're a watch collector, they've got ones for your watches. I've got my eye on one of those watch ones. They do different size ones, but this one is an absolute monster, and it's the biggest one that they do. At a high level, it's got this display case on the top. So you can display 9 of your favorite knives. If you're somebody who wants to take a different knife with you every day, or you like to switch in and out your EDC, or you want to have a display case that you want to have in your sitting room or next to your bed for people to be able to see them, this is ideal. It's got this lovely Holme and Hadfield leather top on it, which could be taken out. You can remove it if you prefer to have that wood look underneath. I quite like the leather, and it's got these 2 drawers as well where you can put a bunch of things in. I think this is super classy and something that I would definitely keep on my bedside locker. It would actually fill my bedside locker, it's that huge. And in fact, I had to change my usual setup for this video in order to be just, like, it's really hard to even see on camera just quite how big this is. This is a monster knife display. So I'm gonna have to figure out where I put this in my office, but I'm really happy to have it. Okay, let's pull out all of these knives so you can see them on the table, along with a couple of tools as well. So they're sending along a couple of tools in a tool roll so that you can get started. So if you want to be in with a chance to win this prize, there's a couple of things that you need to do, and I'll be talking about them throughout this video. So stay tuned throughout so that you know the 3 things you need to do in order to qualify to win these items in this video today. Everything you can see on the table here is part of the giveaway. And I'm going to start off with the most expensive knife in the lot, because there's about $2,500 of knives on the table here. And the first one here is the Monument. Now the Monument is designed by Michael Walker. This one is absolutely beautiful. You can get it in 2 types of steel, but I've gone for the Damascus steel model, and this one is a $500 pocket knife. So Michael Walker is known for creating jewelry. He is a famous knife maker, and you can tell from this knife, from everything. The Damascus steel on it is absolutely, it's so uniform. It's really beautiful. In fact, it's so uniform it looks fake. You know, sometimes you get that Damascus steel that's printed on, but I assure you this is real Damascus steel. It's got this dragon scale back on it, which I really like. It looks kind of like fish scales or dragon scales. And it's got a really beautiful pocket clip that has this little kind of ball wheel on it, so that it slides in nicely. It opens beautifully. This is my favorite type of open and locking mechanism. I believe this guy, Michael Walker, is the person who invented the liner lock, this locking mechanism. I believe he's the person who came up with it. I think he's got something like 50 different patents in his name, if I'm talking about the right guy, but absolutely beautiful little knife. It's made in Italy. It's got rose Damascus steel, that's the blade steel on it. It's got this gorgeous titanium handle, really luxury, and there's only 500 of these being made at the moment. So if you want one of these, whether you want the Damascus steel one or you want the cheaper $275 knife that is not Damascus steel, I would move on that quickly for those knife collectors out there. But one lucky person who enters this competition will get one of these Damascus steel CRKT knives. Absolutely gorgeous. It's called a Monument from CRKT. So as I said at the start, I intended on recording a 75,000 subscriber video. I've done it for 25, 50, and now 75, but I didn't get time this time. I was just kind of taking a little bit of time off from YouTube. So I want to include that in the video here. There's a bunch of questions you asked and I'd like to answer them. The first one up comes from Michelle Aileen. What is your job aside from YouTube videos? So aside from YouTube, I have a very busy full-time job. I work in software development. I'm Irish originally, but I live here in Silicon Valley. I live in Berkeley in the East Bay here, near San Francisco. And I work for a large tech company there, and I'm responsible for developing one of their products. I love that as a job. I'm not going to leave that industry. I have no interest in this being a full-time thing. This is very much my hobby and something I enjoy doing. So let's talk about the first thing you need to do to qualify for this prize in this video, and and that is to like and subscribe to this video and comment which of these knives is your favorite knife in the video. If you had just one knife, which would be the one that you would pick? That's the first thing you need to do to qualify. Now the next knife I want to go through is called the Q, and this has been designed by Richard Rogers, and it opens absolutely beautifully again. It's a drop point knife and it's gorgeous. It's made in Italy and it's magna cut blade steel. It's got a titanium handle with carbon fiber inlay, and again limited to only 500. One of the things I really like about this one, it's just so beautiful. It's my favorite type of mechanism to open. Really easy to open. It really nice, attractive knife. Feels great in the hand. Lovely balance. As I said, designed by Richard Rogers. But it's got this this kind of floating. What do they call this? In the spine of it, it's got this little floating element here, which is just so minimal. So much thought has gone into it just to make it feel so nice in the hand. Really spent a lot of time getting this right, and I like it a lot. Incredibly sharp, and nice thick ridge on the back of it. Nice strong knife which tapers to a really good drop point. I don't know, really great knife. I think they've done a lovely job on it. So again, that one's about $275 for those of you who are unlucky and don't get to win the prize but are still interested in buying one of these. After that, I want to talk about another knife that I love. This might be my favorite of the bunch just because of how it looks and feels in the hand. This is a liner lock. This is designed by Alan Foltz. Look at that. It's got this classic sheepfoot blade. I'm a sucker for a sheep's foot. Really nice blade, but I love the handle too. In terms of it being the right size for an EDC for me, compared to some of these other knives, you know, a much smaller little knife, much less intimidating, maybe more in line with the Monument. Again, I just prefer having a smaller pocket knife so they're less intimidating for people. But this sheep's foot, absolutely gorgeous, designed by Alan Foltz from Florida. It's got M390 blade steel, carbon fiber handle with titanium bolster, and again limited to 500. So yeah, you'll be lucky if you get one of these. I don't think the camera does it justice in terms of there's like a slight blue fleck, like there's some highlights of blue in that handle that just it makes it sparkle. It almost looks like a fish, the way kind of fish scales cast the light, but it's not fish scaly, it's smooth to the touch. So really nice job, really robust knife, feels very kind of heavy and strong and reassuring in the hand. It's got a decent kind of pocket clip that's got again a slightly purpley blue tinge to it. Doesn't really show up on the camera as much as I would like, but yeah, a gorgeous knife. And if I was picking one knife, if there was one knife that maybe I was buying myself with my own money, I feel that would probably be the one that I would go for. I think it's beautiful. So keep an eye out for that. The next question is from B Ramsey 104. He said, I noticed a digital clock on your desk. It looks really cool, and I'm wondering what type of clock is it? I need to get a clock for my desk. It's just one of the Google Home devices, and now it's going to listen to me. Yes, it just sits on my desk, tells the time. I get it to play music, do basic things, but it's just one of those cheap Google Home devices. I wish it was something more special than that. I also have a couple of different things set up here. I have an air monitor because we get some forest fires here, and it's good to check the air monitor and see do I need to turn on the purifier or not, as well as a bunch of different electronic things that I need for the YouTube channel. But beside, the main thing here is I've got that digital clock. I like it, would recommend it, had it for a long time. Let's move on. So let's talk about the second thing you need to qualify for this is you need to go over to my Instagram account. It's at @MarcusCreates_. There'll be a link in the description below, and subscribe to my _MarcusCreates Instagram page. I'm trying to grow that a little bit more. I've only got about 500 people on there right now, and I'm going to be adding more content over time to make it more valuable for you too. So you must have liked and subscribed to this video, and you must and commented in the comments below which knife is your favorite knife on this list. You must also follow me over on Instagram. I will be checking that both of those things, the winner has done both of those things. Okay, stay tuned for the third thing. The next one I want to talk about, because it's just so unique, is called the Persian. So first of all, look at the handle on that. Really nice, kind of unique curved handle, but when you open it, you really notice it really does look like a Persian, a traditional Persian knife. So this one again is designed by Richard Rogers, made in Italy. It's got magnet cut blade steel, a titanium handle with carbon fiber inlay, and again limited to 500 units. Now this one is you know, uniquely, it's got that you know, that classic Persian blade, and with the, you know, the sense of design that went into having that curve through the knife. You know, not typically the type of knife I would go for. This is a little bit intimidating for me in terms of it being an everyday carry knife, but certainly something that I would take camping with me, or if I was going out on a trip. Very attractive knife. Really like it. And the last one that I want to go through in detail is called the Fial. Now the Fial is an interesting knife because I've never seen anything like it before. It's essentially a wine bottle opener, a really fancy one made from, you know, machined aluminium. It's got this much bigger blade than you would expect on a knife like this. So knife with a bottle opener etched into the bottom of it there, a long knife, but it's got this area too here where you can open actual bottles of wine with it. So I used to be a sommelier. Fun fact, I used to work in France when I was 18. I was the wine boy, and I used to go and open those bottles of wine, and I used to, you know, the French way. But anyway, so I have a little bit of experience with these. And with this one, this is designed by Princeton Wong. It's M390 blade steel, titanium handle, and limited to 500. So it is a bottle opener, a classic bottle opener, where you've got this thing where you can put it down the top and you can wrench it to get the cork out of the bottle. And then it's got this really impressive blade on top of it. So, you know, something that I think maybe in France would be more traditional in terms of something someone might carry in the pocket. Quite a big, hefty knife. Big and chunky, a heavy knife. So, you know, maybe something that you keep in your drawer, maybe something next to, if you've got like a wine rack or something you want, and there's like a little conversation piece, maybe you'd use it for that. Probably not something that I would carry around as like an EDC. I just don't need to be able to do that every day, hence the EDC part. But again, a nice knife as part of your collection. So those are the main ones I wanted to go through, but there's a couple of little ones here as well that are also included. Before I talk about those, I want to talk about some of the tools that are included. There's this lovely machined aluminium, they call it Scout's tool design. Real minimal, but here you've got this little magnetized area with some of the most commonly used bits that you would use for maintaining, you know, for opening up and maintaining your knives. So I really like that, given how small it is. It's really satisfying in terms of how it pops back in. Nice little tool. So that's included as part of the giveaway. More robust, more comprehensive is this tool roll, where there's a screwdriver with all the bits in it as well. Again, for maintaining your knife. Lovely, lovely little. I mean, honestly, it's a fidget toy, to be honest with you. So it's really great, and I'm going to stick that in here, back in there. That's included as part of the giveaway as well. A couple of really small things here. They've got a couple of different versions. I'll ask Connor to put the names on screen for these, because I did that as part of the B-roll. But this is the, you know, kind of these executive knives. Honestly, I think that that's probably too big a knife for me in terms of it being an executive knife if you were wearing a suit. But they do have a smaller version of it here, which I think is much less intimidating. You know, this is more in the kind of, I open boxes, a package arrived and I'm cutting some tape size knife, so much less intimidating. Nice little knife, feels good in the hand. You know, small enough, but it's still very easy to open in terms of it being flickable. Sometimes when you get to the smaller blades, they're actually quite tricky to open. Like, here's an example of a knife that might be just on the slightly too small side in terms of flickability. It does have a nice open action, but I struggle to get it open all the way. See, it's like, you know, you have to give it the little flick at the end. So yeah, sometimes these blades are too, there we go, I got it that time. Sometimes these blades are a little too small to be flickable, but they are fixed blades, very usable, and I like a lot of these knives. I like this one because it flicks beautifully. This is a really great knife, again included in the box. This one here, it's kind of got this samurai blade on it. And then this, I actually quite like this one. This one has got this little kind of stubby, like almost prying blade on it. I could see people not being super intimidated by it if you pull it out in an office. It's not, you know, it's not crazy big. It's, you know, quite sharp on the ends. Tricky knife to sharpen and maintain, but then again, not a very expensive knife. So I'll just do one other knife, but this is, you know, kind of not in my bag. This might be someone who watches who might be interested in this, but so what we have here is a knife that doesn't have any sheath, or it doesn't have any protection at all. It's just like about as minimal as you can make one of these knives. Incredibly sharp, basically just a pocket clip and knife, and I nearly cut myself there already. Not for me. I'm just too clumsy to have a knife like that. I know I would slightly open it in my pocket and end up slicing myself, but an interesting design nonetheless by CRKT. The next question on the list is from Munchkin Gaming TM. Productivity apps you may use on your phone or Mac. Also, can we expect any crossover with Morris Moves down the road? Enjoy both your content and notice you had some of his patches. That's a good spot. Well done. I did use one of them in one of my thumbnails. I do know Morris. I've been on a couple of different calls with him. In fact, I spoke to him last week, and we are talking about creating a collaboration at some point in future. We're trying to figure out what it is and what makes sense, but I think we do make similar content, so keep an eye out for that. In terms of which productivity apps I use on my phone, I mostly use Notes. I used to use lots of different apps. I used to do Todoist, I used to have Things 3, I used to have Notion to manage all of my kind of personal stuff and YouTube and things like that. Whereas recently I've just switched over to Notes and the Reminders app. I think the Notes app on iPhones has become good enough that because I'm on Mac, and I get that there's a lot of Android people who don't love it, but because I am on Mac and I'm in the Apple ecosystem, Notes is more than good enough for me. In fact, I'm probably going to make a video on just how I get the most from Notes, because I've become a power user in the last kind of 6 months as I switched over everything into the Notes app. Okay, the third thing and the most important thing you need to do to be able to qualify to win this item is to go into the description of this video. There'll be a link to the Holmes and Hadfield website. They are managing this whole process. They are giving this away, and they'll be responsible for shipping not only the armory, but also all of these knives to the lucky winner. They'll be checking with me to make sure that the winner that they select has liked and subscribed and commented on the video, as well as subscribed to my Instagram. Once we've verified that, they'll be handling all the back end and making sure that they ship these knives to the lucky winner. We'll be announcing the winners. All of the dates on when these announcements will be happening will be over on the Holmes and Hadfield website. So go down to the description and you should have everything you need. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's not the typical type of video I do, but I thought it'd be fun. I really did want to give something back to my subscribers who've been super patient with me over the summertime while I took some time off. I'm fully back now, really enjoying creating this content, and I hope somebody who's one of those regular commenters and really has been with me for a while on this channel is lucky enough to win this. I'm rooting for you. All right, hope you enjoy. Good luck.